Okay, so this is a tricky and tedious process, this final sewing. It often is going to take longer than you might anticipate, so if you have an audiobook you like to listen to, or music or something, or maybe a movie to watch, it's time to put it on in a little bit. But I've already reopened the holes, pushing the needle from the inside of the signature center, each one through the back, opening up from the glue that we've put on the spine. And so back here, there are holes that I need to track and use. As I sew from the outside, starting from the outside, then in, and then back out, tying it up, moving over to the next signature, outside in, back out, tying it up, moving to the next signature, and we'll just work our way over without cutting the thread. So we're just going to use one thread to connect the 5 signatures at the top, and then we'll use another long thread to connect the signatures at the bottom to themselves and through and to the spine and the backing of the spine. So what I use is light. I actually have different tools and things that I've built out of pine and light bulbs, and so I have an apparatus that really is very nice in the way that sets it up here. But here I'll just use a lamp, and I'll use a flashlight to illustrate what I mean. If you let light come in from the back, you're going to be able to see the holes that you've made. All right, and that is going to be important to you as you try to work from the back through the material into the inside of the signature and then back out. You need to be able to see those holes. Now, if you have a very fine pen, as you find those holes by the light mechanism that I'm using here I just have a flashlight that I'm putting in the back. You might want to mark them, but at this point you might need to call on a friend to help you hold the book. And there we go, that's a good one. And the top, remember, you're just the top 2 and the bottom 2 are really what you're dealing with. And you can mark them with a very fine point pen. You know, I use a V5 Pilot. Sometimes you can place a little dot, but if you're doing that, then I think you need another pair of hands to help you, which is completely fine. But what I'm going to try to do here is I'm just going to use this lamp. I'm going to lift it up, and you might see a good bit of flooding of light in the camera, but I'll put the text block. I'll open up the signatures and put that signature up against the light, and I'll be able to see the holes that I need to use as I push my needle in. So let's see if I can go ahead and do that. Oh, by the way, I should have said this earlier. I've already threaded the needle, and I've started off with that double half hitch right here. So I've done some of that preliminary work, and I'll use a pair of magnifying glasses, some reader glasses on this. Even if you don't need glasses, they really do help. Just to magnify everything that you need to do. Okay, so I'm picking the light up. I'm not going to shine it right to the camera, but there we go. And I'm going to hold this up. I see the hole already, and I'm going to start from the back. I'm going to go in from the top down. I got it perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to just move this away so that it doesn't flood the camera, and I'll pull it through. Make sure that I don't get myself entangled with all of this. And what's very important is you pull it through, don't pull it all the way through so that loop doesn't close on you. Don't close it yet. Go to the second hole there. Sorry, I may have lifted it too high. You don't want to close that loop on you. But it's positioned well on the back. And I'm going to go through that hole coming back out. I'm going to make sure my twine is not entangled. I'll pull it out. Pull it all the way out till I feel it tug that loop a little bit. And I'm going to go up through, I'm going to take my needle and go through that loop right there and bring it down. And I'm going to use this rope to tighten up that half hitch. All right? And I'm going to tighten it up at the top. Now it's nice and tight. That half hitch has closed. I've put pressure on it. You don't want to yank too hard because then you'll start ripping the pages on the inside. But you want to pull so that it's nice and tight. Now it's time to go from this signature to the next. I'm just gonna move over to the next. Now there's thread popping up. Let's not worry about that. We'll deal with that later. Um, I actually should have started from the bottom of the top two holes, because then the loop would be down at the bottom, and we could just leave that thread. It would never pop up over the edge of that headband. That's one thing I would change if I could right now, but let's just go ahead and move forward. I'm going to go back to my light source. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to go to the second signature. You see how I've used sticky notes to just be able to open up quickly. There's the hole I need right there. That's the first one. Excuse me. This is the second signature. Okay, there's that hole. I see it. I see that little hole. I know you probably can't see it. You won't be able to see this in the video recording, but I'm just illustrating the method that I use. I need to have that light right there. Now I found that hole through that light. I'm pulling it through, getting it nice and tight, and I'm just dropping it down. I'm just going down to the second hole of that top signature. I'm bringing it back out the back, pulling it, all right? And now I'm ready to go to the next signature. It's really that simple. I'm just going to slip over to the next one, go inside, back out, slip over, inside, back out, and then I'll tie it off at the end. So I'll just go ahead and keep on doing this because for the camera's sake, but I've already tied that second signature, so it's time to move to the third one. I'm going to find that, flip it out, and these are the holes I need. I'm going to go ahead and I'll use the light again to show me exactly what bottom hole I need to do from the outside in. There it is. I got that. Now as I push from the outside in, I might catch something. I might rip a little bit of the paper, but it's always going to be more or less within that hole. So I'm going to pull it tight. I'm going to go up to the top. Just push it through and back out. There we go. Okay. And I got it. Now, I'm only doing this so that I have a single thread there. All right. If you want, for every time that you make a stitch like that on the inside of the spread of the signatures, if you want to double back through it for extra strength, that's fine. You know, you're just going to have to find that bottom hole again, push it through. Here we go. And I'm coming through again, coming back out and up again. There we go. And now I have a double stitch. Okay. And that allows me to see the stitches on the back, but I do have two threads here at the top. Now, that's something you might want to consider doing if you really want maybe to go over the top in terms of strength, because many times people reach for the top to open the books, and if you have a double stitch up there, that will really you know, keep things tight and strong up there. So I'm going to finish off the top, and I'll tie it off, and then I'll stop the video. I'll do the bottom on my own, but because you basically get the idea, it's going to be the same process down at the bottom. But I'm going to move a little faster now. I've got that signature open now. I can't see the hole for some reason, so I'm going to reopen it, move it around a little bit. There we go. I see it. Okay. I'm going to just use the light over here, push it through. Now bring it back all the way out. Sew this back out. Watch my thumb in the back. I've got it somewhere back there. Okay, here we go. Coming through. Time to move. I'm not going to do the double stitch. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the last signature, open it up, check out where the hole is with my light. It's down here at the bottom. Push this through, bring it out. Put this, bring it out. Finish off the top. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm just gonna. Now sometimes the glue itself will sort of reclose on you, and you'll have to push, you know, to get that needle out. But there we go. So I'm done. I've finished sewing the 5 signatures to the back. Now what I need to do now is I need to figure out a way to tie this off, right? Because I don't want this just hanging out as a loose thread, if you will. So there are a couple of things you can do. You can tie it to one of the threads that are left. And if you can find a nice tight thread to use, I would always recommend that. and use your needle to tie the double hitch. I'm actually going to go back through this signature. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to go through this hole. I see it here, and the reason I'm doing that is if I have a double strand back there, if I have a strand, a straight piece of thread back there, I can use that to tie my double half hitch. All right. So now I have this piece of thread right there, and I'm going to just slip my needle through it. I'm going to bring it to the top. I'm going to put my needle through that loop. That's the first half hitch. Whoops, it fell. Put it through. There's that first half hitch right there. I'm going to close it up nice and tight at the top, slide it up to the top. I'm going to do that again. Put the loop, bring the needle through, bring it down. I may as well do it one more time. I'll put 3 half hitches on this one. Put it up. You know what? My thread the needle just fell off the thread. That's a little bit of sloppiness on my part, but I'll go ahead and cut that out. I know I've got 2 half hitches on that, and that's fine. So there we go. Now I'm going to deal with these threads later. I'll just put a little layer of glue and lay it down there. I'm going to stop the video, and I'm going to do the exact same thing at the bottom of the book. I've flipped it so it looks like it's the top, but I'm going to have to sew these bottom parts of the signature to the mull, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss how to make the spine.